Yo, what's going on guys, Arekkz here, welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. In today's video, it's just going to be a really quick one, but I want to bring you guys a couple of snippets of information that came from Activision's most recent investor call. They have these every quarter, and today, May the 4th, they had the first one of 2017. These investor calls are of course where they speak about their earnings, their different franchises, so that also includes things like Call of Duty, Overwatch, World of Warcraft, etc. But on top of that, it also includes Destiny. And while of course they are going to be saving most of their announcements for both May 18th, E3, and of course any other events they have planned for the rest of the year, there were still a couple of rather interesting bits of information that came out of the call, so I thought I would share them with you guys. So if you do enjoy this, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below if you have any questions. But starting at the top, the very first thing they spoke about relates to the delivery of content. Of course, one of the main things we've had in Destiny 1 is we've had various updates throughout the years, but every single time you kind of complete an update, there is typically a big content drought period. This is something we have been plagued with since Destiny 1 came out, and it's something Bungie themselves and Activision are very much aware of as being a problem. This is something they aim to fix in Destiny 2, and they said that they have a continuous calendar of events following the expansion pass. Now, if you guys remember the GameStop letter that went out a while ago, there are a few details with regards to the expansion pass, and just to jog your memory, it said that the Destiny 2 expansion pass includes reservations for both expansion 1 and expansion 2, which will be released in winter 2017 and spring 2018 respectively. The expansions offer brand new story missions, cooperative activities, competitive multiplayer, and a wealth of new weapons, armor, and gear. That is the synopsis for the expansion pass, and of course, knowing that we have those coming, we were already pretty happy with the fact that we had a couple of things on the calendar. However, they did make an important note in the investor call to say that following the expansion pass, they do still have a quote-unquote continuous calendar of events. So I spoke about in the past how they may well look to the way that Overwatch does it with these sort of, seasonal events and things that are delivered slightly more regularly, perhaps not necessarily as huge in size each time, but they are regular enough to keep the player base engaged and give us things to do. On top of that, in that same sort of conversation thread, when they were speaking about the content, they said they have a quote-unquote robust content plan post-launch. So of course that ties nicely into their continuous calendar. And they also said later on, further down the call, that they have a lot of confidence that they can keep up a steady stream of content to meet player demands. They said that in Destiny 2, one of their biggest focuses is on getting the content pipeline right. So of course, this is a huge step for them because they've also kind of made note of, not only in Destiny, but some of the other franchises, that the business as a whole and the kind of gaming sphere is moving into this sort of space where it's not always about physical game deliveries. It's not always about, selling you a game that you go into a shop and buy. Once you have that game, then a lot of the stuff post-launch is of course delivered digitally. So they want to make sure that in order to meet the player demand, in order to kind of, maintain that, they have a solid content pipeline. That is something that Destiny 1 does not have, which is probably why we do have these big drought periods, which is why it's so hard for them to deliver content for us. So if Destiny 2 does have a solid foundation and a solid pipeline, it should, I'm crossing my fingers here, you can't see it, but I'm crossing my fingers, it should mean that we have a steady stream of content, so hopefully those sort of drought periods should be few and far between. The other thing they said, and this is the last thing on the Destiny 2 side of things before I move over to speak about one exciting Destiny 1 related thing, the last thing they said was of course they are very excited about the PC versions, and they said that on May 18th they will have some exciting announcements. Now I know that May 18th is already going to be an exciting day. It's the first chance we'll of course get to see gameplay and go hands-on, and as a reminder, I'm going to be out at that event capturing some gameplay for you guys, so do definitely keep it locked because I will have everything I can possibly show you guys. But they did say they'll also have some special announcements on that day, so hopefully we'll get some clarity with regards to maybe upcoming content or other stuff like that. Honestly, I don't know, but it goes without saying, May 18th, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to either the live streams or news sites, channels, and things like that, so definitely stay tuned. However, the last thing I want to speak about is actually relating to Destiny 1. This thing they said in passing, and they were speaking about this in the context of Q2 kind of content and events, and they said that there will be a free update coming to Destiny. They didn't say Destiny 2, they said a free update coming to Destiny at some point soon. Now, there was nothing else said about this. It is entirely possible that they misspoke and they were simply referring to Age of Triumph, because of course that does, technically speaking, fall kind of between Q1 and Q2, so they could have been referring to the fact that that was sort of like an event to keep people going. However, the time frame they spoke about it made it sound more like something that is coming soon, And I do appreciate that Bungie said that Age of Triumph is the end for Destiny 1. That is like the last thing they're going to be doing. That is the last major update, the last sort of content update. However, if you think back to previous expansions, things like before Dark Below came out or House of Wolves came out, there were these small in-game events. They weren't, you know, anything substantial, anything crazy, but when there was, say, for example, the Blades of Crota that started roaming the world, they were effectively a cool live event that teed up the upcoming update. And given that we know that the Cabal are going to be invading the solar system, destroying the tower, destroying everything that we have worked hard to gather, I think it could be pretty cool if they do deploy some sort of event that tees up the events of Destiny 2. Maybe a sort of prequel or some sort of singular mission that basically sets up what's about to happen. I appreciate they're not going to do anything drastic in-game because Destiny 1 as a game is still going to continue. It's still going to persist while Destiny 2 exists, so for anyone that doesn't necessarily upgrade, they can still play the game. So they're not going to go and do anything like destroying the tower in Destiny 1, but it would still be cool if there was some sort of live event that perhaps sort of pointed towards what was going to happen in Destiny 2. Either way, there is absolutely no details on that. They simply said there is a free update coming, so if that is something big, I imagine we'll hear about it at some point soon. Deej did say that the This Week at Bungie post that's not live at the moment is going to be pretty light this week, so I don't expect any details in that. And as mentioned, it is entirely possible that they could have misspoke, and the free update could have actually been Age of Triumph, and they were speaking, you know, kind of retrospectively. Either way, that's it. That is your quick update. That is kind of saving you guys from listening to a rather boring investor call. So, for the time being, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think about the kind of notion of a solid content pipeline? What are you kind of hoping to sort of see on May 18th? And what do you think the Destiny 1 event could be? What would you like it to be? Let me know down below. But thank you for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.